welcome to everyone that is just joined in. My name is Jed Duff and I'm from the University of Newcastle, the School of Nursing and Midwifery. And today we're going to be talking about our Masters of Nursing program. So if that's the program you're interested in, then you're in the right virtual room. I've got my colleague with me today, Associate Professor Sarah Jong, who's the program convener, and she runs the Master of Nursing program at the School of Nursing at the University of Newcastle. Hi, Sarah. So today I'm going to run through a little bit of a presentation, not too much, but just enough to tell you about the University of Newcastle, the School of Nursing and Midwifery, and the faculty that we're in, the faculty. And also specifics about the courses within our program. And then we'll give you some time at the end to ask some questions. There's not a large crowd, so at the end you can just take yourself off mute and ask some questions, and we'll stay on here as long as you like to answer the questions. The other thing is that there is a chat function, so if you have some questions as we're going along, then please feel free just to type them into the chat function, and when we get to the end we can go through those as well and answer those first. So let me tell you a little bit about the University of Newcastle. So if you come and do the Master of Nursing at the University of Newcastle, you'll actually be joining a university that's ranked number 207 in the world from the QS World Rankings. In fact, we're the highest ranked regional university in Australia. And we're quite a large regional university. As you'll see, we have there over 37,000 students and over 2,600 staff teaching and educating those students. And if you join us here at the University of Newcastle and graduate with your Masters of Nursing, then you'll join some over 143,000 alumni in 134 countries. And I can tell you that I've travelled and bumped into alumni all over the world. It really reminds you that it's a small world. And so we're also proud of the fact that although we're a regional university, we connect around the world and we have over 180 partners. And in our own region, we're very proud to be the #1 university for Indigenous enrolments. Now, the University of Newcastle obviously is located in Newcastle, but we have sites across Australia and into Asia. So we have our headquarters or our main campus at Callaghan, which is a beautiful suburb in Newcastle. But then we also have a campus in Port Macquarie. We have our Newcastle CBD. We have our Central Coast campus, and we even have a Sydney CBD campus. And we also have a satellite campus in Singapore. Of course, most of you will probably be considering joining us from doing your Masters virtually. And we have almost 1,000 students studying postgraduate nursing and midwifery at the moment from across the world. So you really aren't limited by where you are. So if you come to the University of Newcastle, then you'll be joining the Faculty of Health and Medicine. And this is really one of the most comprehensive health and medical faculties in Australia. Because we're a regional university, we have to train all the health professionals that our region requires. And so we just have, I think I've lost count of how many health professions are trained on campus, 13, 14, 15, maybe more. So very comprehensive health and medicine faculty. And really making a difference, not just regionally, but also internationally through our world-renowned innovation in teaching and learning, and also research. So in the School of Nursing and Midwifery, we have 4 master's programs that people are interested in, and you're tuned in to listen to us talk about the Master of Nursing program. But we also have the Master of Mental Health Nursing, Master of Midwifery Studies, and a Master of Nurse Practitioner. So tomorrow we'll be running having a virtual booth for the Master of Mental Health Nursing. So please have a look at that, and feel free to join if you want more information on our Master of Mental Health Nursing. The other thing about our programs is that you have an opportunity, our courses cross programs, and so you will have an opportunity no matter what program you're in to learn and work with students who are studying other degrees in the School of Nursing and Midwifery, also within the faculty and even the wider university. So let me tell you a little bit about nursing and midwifery at the University of Newcastle, particularly our postgraduate programs, which are very highly regarded. When you come to study at the School of Nursing and Midwifery, you're actually studying at the number 38th ranked School of Nursing in the world, according to the QS World Rankings. And for the postgraduate programs, our student satisfaction is over 80%, above the national average of 75, you can see. And for our graduates say that satisfaction is 90%, well above the national average of 83. And what that does is give us a ranking of being the third ranked postgraduate program for nursing and midwifery in the country. And you can see a picture here of Professor Regina Lee. And I think Professor Lee is an example of why our courses are held in such high regard. We have academic experts that teach our courses, and they do that in collaboration with clinical experts. So, for example, Regina is an expert at child and family health, renowned for her research and scholarship and collaboration with international partners such as the WHO. But she also teaches her courses with clinical experts, clinical nurse consultants in pediatrics or child and family health, depending on the course. And I think this is the combination that really attracts students and gives them a high degree of satisfaction. And so each year, the university surveys, or actually I think it's the government surveys our graduates to look at outcomes. And our graduates of our Masters of Nursing are actually compare very highly to our other programs in the country. You can see that when surveyed, 99% of our graduates are employed, and 96.2% are fully employed or employed full time. And the median salary for our graduates is $93,000. So if you're considering the Master of Nursing, perhaps you've taken a look at our website, and you'll see some of the details, and I'll just go through them now in a little bit of detail. The Master of Nursing can be completed in 12 months full-time, or 2 years, or perhaps even more part-time. You can study the Master of Nursing online or on our Callaghan campus at Newcastle. And we operate in trimesters in postgraduate nursing and midwifery. So you actually have 3 opportunities to enroll a year. Pretty much, if you wanted to enroll, you could enroll at any time, and that you don't have to wait very long before you can start. So we have an intake in January, one again in May, and another one in August coming up very shortly. And the fees for the Master of Nursing are for a 10-unit subject, $1,945. More details about fees can be found on our website, of course. So the Master of Nursing consists of 3 core courses. So this is a little bit different to, the language is a little bit different to other universities. We talk about courses and programs. So some universities talk about subjects and courses. But so we have 3 core courses: Contemporary Nursing, Introduction to Research in Healthcare, and Knowledge Translation in Healthcare. So everyone doing the Masters of Nursing have to complete these 3 courses. Contemporary nursing is, as it states, it's around contemporary issues and changes pretty much every year. I'm pretty sure contemporary nursing is run right now in trimester 2, and I'm pretty sure that the students are talking a lot about the COVID-19 and the role that nursing is playing in the response to global pandemics. The topics that they talk about are technology in nursing, ethical issues in nursing, climate change and health. So they really address contemporary issues, and you do that in collaboration with your tutors, course coordinators, and fellow students. Introduction to Research in Healthcare is an introductory course on research, and I think it's essential that all health professionals have an understanding and to be able to read and appraise research, and that's what this course offers. This course is done with everyone in nursing and midwifery in a postgraduate, so this is a core course for all of our programs. And then that core course really leads on well to our 3rd core course, which is Knowledge Translation in Healthcare. And that course, which happens to be my course, is where we teach you to actually apply the evidence into practice to improve healthcare. So that's the 3 core courses, and they equate to 30 units. And then you choose another 50 units of subjects. So if you want a specialisation, then you choose 30 units from one of the specialisation categories. So you can see the specialisations there on the right-hand side. The specialisations are made up of a group of courses that you can select from. For example, leadership and management specialisation consists of courses around HR, people management, leading change, business processes. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a host of courses related to leadership and management, and you choose the 30 units, the 3 courses usually, that appeal to you the most. You then have an opportunity to choose 20 units more of courses, another 2 courses usually, in any specialisation. So perhaps you want to do leadership and management, but you're also an acute care nurse. You're an emergency nurse, so you might want to do the emergency nursing course that we have as well, and perhaps the infection control course, just to round out your masters. The trick with our postgraduate programs is that they're highly flexible and highly adaptable to your needs. We know that no 2 nurses' careers are the same, and so this is highly adaptable. You can choose, for example, not to do a specialisation, and you can choose 5 subjects that you think best match your career aspirations, and choose your own courses to match your own career aspirations. And if you need advice, we have program advisors who can provide you with advice on exactly what specialisation is right for you, and how you can plan your academic path. And here's a bit of an example of a program plan. So one of our academic advisors would talk you through your program plan and help you, progress at your own pace and the most efficient way, and select the subject that would benefit you most. So this is just an example of the specialisation for child, youth, and family. And so if you were starting in trimester 1, your program advisor would help you plan out your program. So you can see here, this is actually part-time. It's not full-time, it's part-time. But you can complete it in, a little over a year and a quarter, year and third. In the first trimester, you would do the introduction to research and a subject from, for example, this specialisation of child, youth, and family. The second trimester, you do the contemporary nursing and another specialisation subject. In the third trimester, you'll do knowledge translation and another specialisation subject. And then you've got left over 20 units that you can choose from the list of any subjects that we have in the School of Nursing and Midwifery. It's hard to make a specific example for everyone, but we have staff that are there to help you plan out your progression. I just wanted to mention one course that I think perhaps epitomises our programs, and this is the Perinatal Infant and Young Child Mental Health course. It's fairly recent, but very popular. I think there's probably 150 or so students doing this course at the moment. And this arose out of our collaboration with clinical practice. Health Services said to us that they have, they have young people, young families, children who require support, but then, and particularly mental health support, but they're not in mental health settings, and the people providing this support aren't necessarily mental health professionals. And so our course coordinator worked with industry and experts in the field to develop a course that suits the need of clinical practice. And we try to do that with all of our courses in the School of Nursing and Midwifery at the University of Newcastle. The other thing that you'll find with our courses is that we try and make the assessments as authentic as possible. We don't have any exams in postgraduate programs in nursing and midwifery. And we don't have a lot of essays either. We want to have authentic assessments that match the sort of task that you need to perform as a nurse in practice. So this one really has a case approach where students have worked through a case and they develop material that supports the case in question. It really helps you practice the skills that you need if you are working in practice with people who need mental health support in non-mental health settings. So I think that's just one example, but we have many others like this that show the practical nature of our programs. And now I just want to talk through a couple of our graduates and the career paths that their various masters have taken them. And so this is Ruth. Ruth is a nurse specialist in an infusion service in a major metropolitan hospital. And Ruth completed the Master of Nursing Advanced Practice. And so we have, you probably saw, we have a specialisation in advanced practice. We also have a specialisation, we also have a whole program in the Masters of Nurse Practitioner program. And what the difference is for me is advanced practice is still about being an RN, but working at the full extent of your scope of practice in a particular area. So for Ruth, for example, she is an RN, but she has a scope of practice that allows her to manage infusions, advanced infusions, insert PIC lines and other central lines, which would be seen at the edge of the scope of practice for an RN. So the advanced practice course helps you consider those opportunities to be advanced in your own practice. This is Stephen, and I put Stephen in here because I've come across more than one, perhaps a handful of nurses who really I would call entrepreneurs, and it's really exciting. I'm excited to see. Stephen is an emergency nurse in his day job, but he also invented a new type of trauma scissor, and he's trying to distribute and sell and promote those. I've come across nurses doing our course who have developed software to help manage stock and prepare lists for operating theatres. I've come across nurses who've run their own businesses. Particularly, there's more than a few nurses that are running businesses, aesthetic businesses, you know, Botox and fillers. So it's just, yes, just something I didn't expect when I started teaching this in this program, and I'm also happy to see. And then Sally is completing a Master's of Nursing in Acute and Critical Care. She's also, I'll probably miss that off, but she's also done her midwifery, graduate diploma in midwifery. She has a Bachelor of Nursing. She's studied a lot, but so you need to be a comprehensive practitioner and a flight nurse. So there were just a few examples of students and places that their specialisations are taking them or have taken them. If you would like to enrol in the Masters of Nursing, then we have the admission requirements here on the screen. The primary admission requirements are that you're a registered nurse, and then you have one of the next three things. So either an honours degree, or some post-basic qualifications such as a graduate certificate or graduate diploma, or a minimum of 1 year's clinical experience. If you're an international student, we also have a requirement of a IELTS score of 6.5 with no section minimum below 6. So if you're interested in applying, as I said, we have 3 entries a year, and the trimester 3 deadline for application is 9th of August. So there's plenty of time for you to enrol.